Hello everyone, I'm Jay with AV News. We're here at Sondokonbensiaeso for the 5th annual K-UAM Confex. I'm joined for an interview with the senior manager of Munich Airport, Olaf. Olaf.
Hi, how are you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Olaf Bünckí. I'm an architect by profession originally, and I've joined a company called AMD Sigma in Berlin 10 years ago. Then now this company was bought by Munich Airport for a few years.
Okay.
And I'm leading there anything in master planning for airports for the land side, real estate, and lately the last few years also for advanced air mobility and all the electric aviation for large and small airports.
Fascinating. A lot of expertise, a diverse background, moving into the AAM field with UAM technology. Tell me a little bit about what you're a keynote speaker as well. What will you be speaking about here in Korea?
I basically speak about the 5 existing projects that we are working on right now in the south of Germany that connect basically with each other very nicely to build a potential first line of contacts, so to say, for AAM, leading from the first airport in the Düsseldorf region up to Austria and Salzburg in Austria. So basically I will be showing those 5 airports, 5 spots that we're working on, and how different those solutions are. Basically, integration either into a large airport or a very small airport or on a rooftop of a multi-story car park building. So any place that we're working on is very different.
This is fascinating. I mean, after working at some exhibitions dealing with UAM and thinking about these vertiports, as I think they're called, I kind of picture them being spread out, but now I've done several interviews with people who come from the airline industry or designing, well, you're the first one that I've done that actually designs the airports themselves, but thinking about how it's actually going to integrate into existing infrastructure is something actually I didn't think about before some interviews today. Can you tell me a little bit about your impressions of this event and kind of what trends you're seeing here?
Basically, it's very interesting because we see Incheon Airport, which is a booth right next to here, and we've been talking to Incheon Airport and the way they implemented AAM at their airport, and it's actually quite similar. They go through the same pain points of having a 2-runway system and finding the right spot to build a vertiport with all the regulation, all the constraints, all the rules that you have to go through, and we had very much of the same in Munich, where we had to find the right spot between the 2 runways, which took a long time and now went through a very complicated and very detailed process of simulation, which was successful, which was very nice. And our design, my design there, was actually the first that was done in a simulation environment. So we now can say that it works technically.
Okay.
Yeah? So the second step would be, once it works technically with all the regulations, will it also be successful in the sense of doing commercial business with it?
Right. And I've seen advanced aircraft. I've seen the UAM. I've sat in one before. I heard that they can fly now. People were saying that now it's about getting the regulations off the ground. What we were saying is, as starting to work with regulations, now we have the technology. Now we're building and developing the regulations, but will it be viable and how will it be viable commercially? What are some strengths you see at within Korean companies here?
Of course, the expertise is very good. For us as an airport consultancy, Korea was always basically a blind spot because everybody knows what he or she is doing here. So basically we didn't do much business because people and airports like Incheon, they're world class. They really know what they're doing.
Sure.
So basically, it's an honor to be cooperating, and to see that basically, as I mentioned, the procedures and the process is very similar. And I think the biggest difference here is that I have the impression that AAM is coming here. It's coming from far above.
Okay.
Like it's basically the government that says, okay, we want that, and let's implement that. And it trickles down from the top into every company. Whereas in Europe, especially, I would say it's still a bit of, it comes from both sides. It's a bit of a grassroots technology, and you have a lot of concerns about public acceptance and a lot of discussions. and also the necessities question. So it's much more critical at our place than it seems to be here.
Okay.
Here, I think the advantages they basically. I only hear about the advantages, so that's a good thing, and I think for the society here, it's well informed, and I think it's moving forward very well.
Sure, that may be a cultural difference and a quick adaptability. Everyone says when they come to Korea, everything happens so quickly. Everything gets done so fast and they're so quick to adapt, which also that's some cultural differences. However, this being part of now a global industry and to benefit humanity and move forward technology, collaborations are key. From a more macro perspective, internationally, what do you think is needed within the UAM industry or community at the moment?
Well, there could be many answers now, but I think the crucial answer is when is the first flight?
Okay.
And that's probably going to be Joby and Skyports in Dubai. I think they're scheduled, first quarter of next year.
Wow.
And basically we're all waiting until that happens, because whatever I would say now, whatever I would wish for, it basically starts or ends at
that's the benchmark.
That's the benchmarks.
Okay.
That's why we all very hopeful that this is going to be successful. May it be competition or not, it's not really. It's
competition
colleagues.
Breeds innovation, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think they did a lot of good designs there, and we know what they do. They know what we do. So basically, we're very happy if this is going to be successful. Because I think then it will really start to be a commercial industry,
right.
And then all the concerns that we are facing right now will be basically wiped off.
Okay. Acceptance is going to be a big issue. I was hearing that this is viable technology. A lot of people are telling me within 2 to 3 years we'll see it become viable. But of course, what you're saying, that starting point, you're the first one I heard it from. The starting point is next year, hopefully early next year, with a test flight itself. What are some trends you see within the industry this year, and what do you see going on next year?
I don't think there are any new trends. I think it's basically just moving on, and we see, not new trends. I would say more consolidation of the concepts that we've been seeing the last few years, and we're very close to being commercial, much closer than the public things. So it's not a new trend, but I don't see any new trends. I just, I would be happy if those trends that we had or that we have, that they will come into
so like proof of concept of the trends.
If you want to call this a trend, but that's pretty much what we are seeing right now.
Okay.
Apart from that, it's basically that we see those 3 pillars of AAM. One is, between cities, one is within a city, and the third part is a medical usage.
Okay.
So all those 3 are basically developing fine, and that's maybe the trend that I want to see. Yeah.
So just the trend is maybe the diverse types of industries that it could enter, more than just the technology and the regulations. Those are being consolidated, going into proof of concept phase, and hopefully be viable with a test flight. The trends, however, are the different industries it might enter first.
Yes.
Medical or commercial or such.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Olaf, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you for the interview. Also, thank you for being here in Korea.
Thank you.